Negotiations between the United States and Russia aimed at ending the Ukraine war are now officially underway. The two sides have agreed to establish high-level teams for peace talks.
우크라이나 전쟁의 종전을 위한 미국과 러시아 간 협상이 본격 시작됐습니다. 양측은 종전 협상을 위한 고위급 팀을 구성하기로 합의했다고 밝혔습니다. Okay, so they have officially met because they met on Tuesday, right? Which is yesterday.
Yes, yesterday local time.
Local time. And they met in Saudi Arabia.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
They met in the capital of Riyadh. And the talk lasted for 4 hours and 30 minutes.
All right.
네, 4시간 반 정도 대화했는데요. There were a lot of top people involved both from the U.S. and Russia. However, it was not the top of the top. It was not Trump and it was not Putin at this meeting.
Got it.
Yes, it
But
was
high
levels.
high-level officials.
So, for example, Secretary of State 국무장관 Marco Rubio was there, and then the Foreign Minister of Russia, 외무장관 Sergei Lavrov, was also there. So, basically, right under Putin and Trump, they were talking about where to go from here.
Do you have any idea what they were talking about?
Well, there were a few things that they agreed upon. First of all, they're going to create a high-level team to talk about the ceasefire, which was in our headline.
Right.
And they're also going to talk about U.S.-Russia relations, economic cooperation. So there are kind of vague but broad topics that they agreed upon.
So it's not just about the war in Ukraine, but economic topics.
맞아요.
other
미국과
things.
러시아 간의 뭐 관계 회복과 경제 협력에 대해서 얘기도 했어요.
Okay, all right. So Trump, well, he wasn't there, but he said that he had some positive feedback regarding the talks.
Yes, he said he has greater confidence now after the talks, and he does believe Russia wants to stop. So he is definitely talking about this in a positive way. Of course, Ukraine was not included in these talks.
Yes.
Europe was not included in these talks. So we will see how things go with those other parties that will need to be involved at some point.
Okay. So, yeah, surely Ukraine isn't all too happy about this situation.
Right.
Okay. So let's talk about this term talks. We've heard in the news the word negotiations, talks. And when we think of the word talk, let's focus on that. Talk, 말하다, like, just simply talking.
말하다, 이야기하다.
이야기하다, yeah. But it also means as a noun, right? It's basically another word for negotiation.
Yes, we usually see this in the plural form, 복수형으로 많이 보는데요. Talks are official meetings or negotiations, discussions that happen most often with the government or in business.
Yes. So oftentimes when we hear about talks, we hear of peace talks.
Yes.
That is, I feel, the most common usage. But in the world of business, they say like the two companies are in talks with each other.
Yes.
Yes. So in talks.
Yes.
Which, if you listen, it doesn't make sense grammatically.
Right. Yeah. It's just kind of a set phrase that we've made to be in talks, right?
Yes. So they could be in talks regarding an M&A, like merger and acquisition.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like a joint venture.
A joint venture.
Yeah. So in this case, negotiation, talks, even a meeting.
A meeting.
These are all words that you could use for what happened in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
All right, very good. Let me read that again. Negotiations between the United States and Russia aimed at ending the Ukraine war are now officially underway. The two sides have agreed to establish high-level teams for peace talks.